so our next presenter is Ruby Bile. And Ruby earned her PhD and MS in environmental horticulture from Cornell University, where she studied the ecological services plants provide for people. As assistant professor at Lorain County Community College, Bile also serves as program coordinator for the Sustainable Agriculture Short-Term Technical Certificate in collaboration with the Ohio State University Agricultural Technical Institute and the New Agrarian Center.
Can you say that slower?
I sure can. Or do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm not sure how to get my presentation, if you can help me with that part.
Ruby is an assistant professor at LC3. You also serve as the program coordinator for the Sustainable Agriculture Short-Term Technical Certificate in collaboration with the Ohio State University Agricultural Technical Institute and the New Agrarian Center.
That's right. Thank you for saying that
More
twice.
syllables than I'm used to at this point in the morning.
Well, indeed. I am here today to actually talk about our educational programs and also to invite community participation, because it's a really big part of what we're about. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Great. So as we celebrate our 50th year at Lorain County Community College, we are thankful for such a supportive and responsive community in the county. And the program that I've been working on for the past 3 years was designed in response to the needs of the community. So I am grateful to be with you today, and I welcome your expertise and participation, and of course your questions at any point in time. So we have 2 short-term technical certificates starting in fall 2013. And one is in sustainable agriculture, the other in specialty crop, and the title is Specialty Crop Growers. And we've been working over the last 3 years to really settle on an official definition for sustainable agriculture. And again, this definition came out of talks with our advisory board, which includes members from the community. Brad Masai is one. We have representation from the Lorain County Farm Bureau, members from Ohio State, ATI, and also from the OARDC. And so we put this together as a hybrid of some very common definitions that are out there. And I asked that question of Glenn earlier because part of what I was hoping he would say in terms of how we're modeling nature, that we're working with nature in these management approaches. Yes, it's a little bit of both, but we have to see what nature has to tell us in order to do a good job. So that's really part of our definition, one that follows the principles of nature to develop systems for raising crops and livestock that are, like nature, self-sustaining, so that once we get them going, they're healthy and thriving and flourishing pretty much on their own. And then we also need to certainly think about the economic and social aspects of sustainability, and that comes out there in our second sentence. Sustainable agriculture's success is indistinguishable from vibrant rural communities and rich lives for families on profitable farms that provide for current and future generations. So this is an emerging field, and it's really exciting to be part of an emerging field because we can develop our education and our training programs as the field grows and changes itself, and we can be responsive to that in real time. We don't have any product or process-based standards right now to tell us what sustainable agriculture is. So again, it's what the community, what the subject experts, what the farmers, what the grazers, what the community leaders tell us it is, and how we can fit that into a whole systems approach in our county, in our Northeast Ohio region, and further on down the line as this kind of approach spreads. So from the very start, we have been in collaboration again with ATI. Lorain County Community College doesn't really have a reputation as an agricultural school, so it was important to us that we kept a connection there with the experts. We even borrowed one of their courses for the first 2 years of the program. And what's really exciting, though, is throughout that work now is emerging a statewide collaboration. So students that are interested in studying sustainable agriculture and pursuing careers in this field are going to have streamlined articulation and very smooth pathways from the certificates that we have at Lorain County Community College into the associate's degree at OSU-ATI. There are also a number of other associate degrees with Zane and Stark State, those that are also in part of this collaborative grant that I've been working on. And on the high school side, I'm also making advancements there, looking at articulation agreements with JBS, with the FFA chapters at Firelands and Wellington. And so again, trying to make sure that students from high school to 2-year to 4-year can get a smooth transitional pathway in this emerging field where we really are kind of ahead of the game here in Northeast Ohio. I've also been working at the state level with the Ohio Board of Regents to come up with learning standards for sustainable agriculture, for agriculture and environmental systems, something that the state doesn't even have yet. So we are really getting there in terms of our influence and working with others to make the program vigorous and good training for what the needs of the community are. Right now we're in year 3. This is just a real brief history of the sustainable agriculture at Lorain County Community College. We're in year 3 right now in the spring semester, and a couple of students are here, which is nice to see, and them getting through the program and getting ready for our first students to graduate at the end of this summer. We are getting that full state sanctioning from the Board of Regents ready for our certificates to be launched in fall of 2013. So up until this coming fall, it's all experimental, it's all pilot, but that doesn't mean that the certificate isn't real. Those students are going to get that certification and be able to continue on in their careers. And we have multiple pathways that we expect will be fully established very soon, and I'll talk about some of those as well. Some of the careers that are already emerging, and again, I've just kind of taken this from a student perspective at different levels in terms of the degree that you might earn. At the certificate level, we're looking for a partnership. We've been working with Tom Snyder of the South Centers Extension, and also with Goodness Grows out of Youngstown, Ohio, to develop on-the-job paid apprenticeships, 1- and 2-year apprenticeships, where Lorain County Community College offers the instruction training, and then the student simultaneously works on the farm in the hopes that they will continue to work on that farm and become sort of a cooperative worker-owner kind of relationship. I've also been working with Chet Bowling, who will be speaking here in a moment. He's one of the speakers this morning, to identify those kinds of farm land opportunities and apprenticeship, or internship and apprenticeship opportunities for our students more locally as well. We have at Lorain County Community College a wonderful support for budding entrepreneurs. We have a brand new Blackstone Launchpad that just came out this past fall for students. You don't have to have a business background. You have to have some kind of dream for a business idea. And then the supports there can meet with you and tell you, what are you lacking? What kind of research do you need to do? What kind of information do you need to gather to strengthen that business proposal? And there's supports all along the way. Getting up into the glide level, I think there's even opportunities for capital to be gained and investments, and really take that next step into full entrepreneurship. Also, there's a really strong service learning component in our sustainable agriculture program, and the students are performing services in the community throughout almost all of their courses. They're making that network, that they're establishing that network, and so there's probably a lot of opportunities for them to get into nonprofit and social entrepreneurship as well. At the associate level, at the bachelor's, at the master's, at the PhD, just like any degree, obviously the higher you go, the more money potentially you can make. You can get into higher education, those kinds of things. This is where we are expecting students to go as we move forward. This slide represents real job opportunities that have actually come onto my desk, and I have not been able to fill them because the students in the program are just a little bit behind the job offers. So we've had OFA sent us an offer for trying to recruit students in their food processing certification specialist, but that was a bachelor's level preferred. So again, the students are just getting started in this pathway. They're moving into those higher degrees, and those jobs I'm expecting will be out there when the students are at that level. Again, the worker-owner cooperative development, that's back at the certificate level. Those opportunities are emerging, are forming right now as we speak. The permaculture design is another one that we just got in at Lorain County Community College this spring with the expertise of Brett Joseph, who was working on the Cleveland PDC out of the Botanical Gardens and the Green Triangle and those organizations. I think they've offered that certification now for 2 years in a row. And now we have the ability to provide the same kind of training at Lorain County Community College, the same kind of certification. It's a 2-class, 6-credit course, and you can get that professional certification at the end of that experience. So we also have a business owner that has her own interior design business, and she's one of our teachers. She's training students in the class for potential employment. So there's a lot of, even though it's an emerging field, there's a lot of great opportunities out there. Next couple of slides are just about the program outcomes. This is what we expect students to learn when they get out of the program. Recognizing the importance of agriculture for improving the global environment, human health, recognizing global diversity, cultural connections, and the cultural importance in our food choices, the connections between food, health, and nutrition, describe the impact that various food systems have on the global environment, exploring career pathways. It really is a career exploration kind of degree at the certificate level. To incorporate sustainable management approaches in one's personal lifestyle, to demonstrate farm production and management skills. The students have a full year of crop production at the George Jones Farm, where they're working to create crop plans, to work throughout an entire year of seasonal growth to manage that farm. To develop a social network within the Lorain County farming community, to gain key sustainability and land stewardship skills through the study of interactions between food, human health, and ecosystem services, and to contribute hands-on to the production, distribution, and marketing of locally grown produce through those experiences with local farmers and growers. So I'm really proud, again, of the community connections that we've already made, but the window is wide open because the more the merrier, and the more diverse opportunities and experiences that our students can have, the richer their educational experience. And so I'm very excited to possibly talk with some of you after the speech today and see if you're interested in connecting as a student or as a farmer or as a community partner. There are a lot of opportunities to enrich the lives of students and also potentially even get help, hands-on help, right there on your own farm. These are the 3 certificates that we are going to be offering in fall 2013. Right now, we have a 20-credit hour sustainable agriculture short-term certificate. And so the students that have already started the program can finish out under that original model, or they may choose to shift into one of the newer certificates. They have that choice. But any student starting in the coming fall, 2013, will have these 3 options to pick from. And in fact, a student could earn all 3 of these certificates in a single year if they were to go to school full-time. On the total opposite end of the spectrum, if one was interested in just taking 1 or 2 classes on a non-credit basis, not even having to pay tuition, just the registration fee, that's another perfectly legitimate option. So we try to develop the program to be as flexible as possible to the needs of whatever kind of student might be interested at any level. And again, that new 6-credit permaculture design professional certification by Brett Joseph is a real winner. It's the first time I've been teaching for about 8 years now, and it's the first time that a brand new course has had such high enrollment, so it's really exciting. One other thing I'd just like to mention that is kind of unique about LCCC and our opportunity to partner with others is the Innovate Ed arm, I guess you could say, of Lorain County Community College. The Innovate Ed group is a facilitator for program and course sharing. So we are able to take the certificates that we offer and deliver them at remote areas or at a community organization, a nonprofit organization. It doesn't even have to be another institution of higher learning. So we're very excited that our first partnership we've been in talks with is a nonprofit. Goodness Grows out of Youngstown, Ohio. And their mission is to take those inner city folks with low food access, low nutrition, struggling to have a job, to have an income, get them the training in specialty crop production on the farm, out in a little bit rural area, get some of that kind of nature therapy and the skills that you learn by being on the farm. Then they can get out in the workforce, earn a living, and also make the world a more sustainable place. So I'm really excited again about the possibilities there for expansion of our program and for reaching a wider audience. As we move forward, my hope is that the certificates that I've developed with the help of many of the partners, again, that I've mentioned already, will be themselves sustainable, and that the design will be flexible enough to move and grow as the needs change. We want to stay open to those emerging job opportunities, to the community needs, and certainly the needs of the established farmers in the area as well. As we grow new opportunities, we don't want to compete and out-compete the local community, the pieces that are already working that are vibrant. And we have a new vision as well at Lorain County Community College, which embraces sustainability, and so we're working towards being a more sustainable institution in and of ourselves, and that way we can continue to be a model of sustainability for the community. So I have just a couple of handouts. I didn't make a lot of copies, but there's not a lot of people here either, which is fine. But if you wanted to, I have a little bit more information on the certificates with some web links. Maybe I see a couple of people nodding, maybe I should pass these around. And then this sheet has our curriculum guides for both of the short-term certificates. Did you want any of those? Okay. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. Oh, thanks. Yeah, there's both of them. Thanks, Amy. I can certainly answer some of your questions now, or my contact information is also on the handouts there. There's a web link to the homepage at Lorain County Community College /sustain, and that's where you can find this information and my contact information as well. Can I answer your questions today?
Could you talk a little bit about the connections, how you outreach to local organizations, and how those funding sources that you mentioned can be utilized?
Right. Okay. Absolutely. The outreach has come through a variety of different ways. I've gathered information from my colleagues at work, farmers in the area, folks that have been involved in the local food movement for a very long time, like Brad, and the folks of the New Agrarian Center have given us several connections. And so I personally make those connections. I go, I visit the farms, I talk to the farmers or the community partners. I say, what are your needs? What can we help you with? And we try to get a mutually beneficial kind of arrangement going. The students go to the farms, they see the methods that the farmers are using, they are able to ask questions on the farm tours. Some of the projects that students have done, a lot of them have benefited the New Agrarian Center and the George Jones Farm particularly, but my students currently are working with right downtown with Oberlin Community Services, building some cold frame boxes for them, working on a guide for seasonal production for the volunteers and folks that work there. So there's a lot of examples. To answer your question about the grant funding, the first grant that we got, I was the co-PI on, the lead principal investigator, that money has gone into the curriculum development. And the money from the first grant has gone into the curriculum development, basically for my time to develop the curriculum, get it on the books, meet all the partners, get the programs, get the classes running, hire the adjuncts. There's two more grants, though, that I'm a part of that I'm not the lead on. One will hopefully bring some money in this summer to get a real hands-on farm slash culinary garden at our main campus at Lorain County Community College so that students can actually do some hands-on work right there in our backyard. And then the second one is to expand the offerings through our Innovate Ed partnerships and to support the curriculum development and articulation agreements that are going to happen between the statewide network, between all the community colleges and Columbus, to get the certificates aligning with the associates and aligning with the bachelors. So those are a couple other grants that I'm currently a part of. Did that answer your question?
No.
No?
You mentioned Glide and
Glide.
and another acronym which I missed.
The Blackstone Launchpad?
Yes.
The entrepreneur sources, yes.
And those were, it sounded more like a business incubator approach.
Correct.
And how does that connect to the community who might be interested in coming to the college to launch their businesses or develop their acreage in a sustainable fashion?
That's a wonderful question. I believe, and Amy, you might know the answer to this more than I, but I believe that those resources are open to the greater community.
Glide, and we also have a small business development person at the college who are open to all community members. Right now, Blackstone, which is a fairly new entity, is only open to students. So if students were enrolled in one of these classes, that would be open to them. But Glide, small business development, all of those resources are open to any community member. If they have an idea, sustainable ag, or anything, I mean, it's wide open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can give you my information. I'm an outreach coordinator, kind of for the rural part of Lorain County, trying to connect people so they realize the resources available at the college in a more general sense than just this program.
Right, so any field of study or any business idea
Right.
could be supported at the Small Business Development Center or GLAD. And what does GLIDE stand for again? Great Lakes Innovation Development Enterprise? Close enough. Do we have time for any
Yeah.
other quick questions? Okay. Any other questions for anyone that I can answer for you today? And again, you've got my information if you do want to follow up with me at a later time. Okay, great. Thank you very much.